This is how I completed RuneScape while working full-time in the military. RuneScape is a really big game. It's got a lot of different types of goals, but for me, my main goal for my account was to get the completionist cape, and then eventually getting the master completionist cape. If you don't know what a completionist cape is, it is essentially a cape or an item that symbolizes that you've completed everything in the game, like the base game of RuneScape. There's two versions of it. There is the base completionist cape, and there's a trim completionist cape. Trim completionist is like going above and beyond, getting every single possible thing that you could think of, and that the game is constituted like this is a player that knows everything in the game. I myself, I unlocked the base completionist cape, and I'm slowly working towards my trim completionist cape using all the things I'm going to talk about in this video today. If you're into these types of raw commentaries or anything RuneScape related, be sure to subscribe. We're getting pretty close to a big milestone on the channel, and I would love your help in hitting that milestone. If you subscribe, I guarantee I'll do my best to put out very good content for you and to make sure that I produce as best as I can with the YouTube channel. Thank you, and let's get right into it. The first step was to focus on actually getting the cape itself. The cape requires a lot of achievements to get knocked out, which is essentially a giant list of things you gotta do in a game. And for a player like myself who really focused only on boss killing and Slayer and like a bunch of general PVM items, I was very far from getting anywhere close to completing my completion escape. And so I had to really slow down and stay focused on what I wanted because I had seen so many people running around with these cool items and this cape particularly, and I really knew that I needed to focus up if I wanted to be able to get this. And for me to do that, I had to start focusing on the big achievements. That included any of the skills that reached 120 or the achievement diaries, and most importantly, the quest cape. The quest cape was a really big one for me because I was never really a quester, and I started my account back in like 2008, 2009-ish, and I played on and off for several years, and I never really focused on quests. Spacebar through them, didn't read dialogue, so a lot of quests to me were just this large laundry list of things I just had to do to work towards a quest line or get a quest reward. But when I started to really go through them and realize that some of these quests are actually pretty good, it made it more enjoyable to want to go through quests. And RuneScape's quests, I've always heard, were some of the best quests in the game or in the industry when it comes to MMOs, because it wasn't the traditional like, hey, fetch quests, go ahead, go pick this up, go over here, pick that up. It was a lot of, hey, you need to go help this and go do an adventure, go on a little journey, and I really enjoyed that. And as I was going through quest lines, and I got to the more modern quest lines, like 2017 and up, the quests are amazing. You got voice acting, cutscenes, you got really good writing, you got jokes in it. It was amazing. And I really enjoyed going for my Questcape, but this was a huge thing to get done because Questcape required a lot of skills, a lot of other quests to get finished before you can get to the end quest line, and the rewards that you got from them were really, really helpful, especially towards things like clue scrolls, which I need to start doing now for the trim completion escape. When it came to getting the skills up to 120, it was finding methods that worked for me with my busy schedule. A lot of times, I maybe only had like an hour or two to play a day, and I didn't really want to spend all that time just playing RuneScape. I like playing other games, I like watching movies, I like doing a lot of other things that aren't necessarily just playing RuneScape. And so I found methods that worked for me when it came to skilling. I found ones that were low input, no input, fully AFK, and or made me a little bit of money while I was training them. These weren't necessarily the fastest ways to method all of my skills and train them, but it was something that worked for me, and it worked when I was like on the road or when I was only able to play mobile. Well, that was really, really helpful. It was finding the small times when I was able to play and how I could utilize it. If my wife and I were watching a movie or something, I'm gonna throw on fishing. I'm gonna go ahead and get 99 fishing. I'm gonna go ahead and do some low input Slayer tasks and something I can just do while we're watching this movie together because I don't want to negate the time that I have with my loved ones to just be playing RuneScape all the time. And so, but I knew to myself, my little digital character was doing something, and that felt good in the back of my mind, getting those number go ups. And while I was working on those tasks and those skills for 120, I realized I still had to go ahead and knock out these other tasks while I was doing it. So I would make sure that a little bit of time for each one and slowly chip away at them. One was like catch 1,000 whirly gigs inside of the Hetz Oasis, a little hunting area. I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and do 1,000 of these. You out of your mind. And so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna do 100 of these a day for like 10 days, and I did 100 and did the same thing. There was a one for like building houses called Absolute Planker, where you had to go around and build houses around Gillinor. And I did the same thing with that one. You had to do like 250 runs. I ended up doing like maybe 5 or 10 every other day, mixing them up. If I didn't do Whirly Gigs one day, I went ahead and did that one. And for every task that was like do 1,000 of this thing, I just slowly broke it up. There were a few days where maybe hey, I'm feeling good. I'm in the rhythm. I'm gonna go ahead and just burn all these out, and I just banged them out. It was fantastic. But a lot of times I had to break them up because if I just sat there for hours and hours hating life, trying to get through this task, I wasn't gonna do it. So I had to find a way to make it bite-sized because the only way to eat an elephant is a bite at a time. And that's what all these big tasks were. They were giant elephants. And a lot of these tasks that I was going through were things that I had never interacted with. A lot of times when it came to RuneScape, I was not thinking about the world itself. Going for trim, going for the comp cape, I mean, really made it that I had to be more involved with the world. I felt more intertwined with the world, and I really appreciated that. It made me enjoy walking around Gielinor, made me learn more about NPCs in the world, and overall, I felt more intertwined as a citizen of Gielinor rather than just like logging in, playing it. I felt more integrated into the world, and I really, really liked that. But when it came to a lot of the tasks and the activities I had to do, they were fun. I really enjoyed them. But I am a PVMer. I'm a boss killer at heart. And so taking breaks from the completionist grind helped a lot. Sometimes I would go ahead and take breaks on doing some boss grinds, go ahead and try and make some money. But when I was doing those boss grinds, I knew I was gonna need money to train up my other skills. Herblore, smithing. Those skills cost a lot of money. And I knew like, you know what, if I'm gonna go ahead and do some boss killing, I'm gonna look for bosses that made me a lot of money so that I can take the money I make from that boss and put it towards that grind. Like fletching and rune crafting, when I got pushed up to 120 and 110, insanely expensive for the highest tier level of skilling. At one point, I spent about 3 billion gold on fletching alone to be able to get fletching as fast as possible. Because to me, if fletching is cool, I really enjoyed it, but the method itself was really AFK and it was a little slow. So I just made sure to knock that out while I was doing something else, editing these videos, researching things, studying for school, and it was really easy to break that up in bite-sized chunks. And being able to, knowing that I could take a break if I ran out of money to go ahead and do some PVM, that made it really, really easy to like cycle, like, okay, I'm working towards trim, working towards comp, I'm working towards these things. I need to make sure I make some money to be able to train my skills. And so it made breaking that up a lot easier. A lot of these grinds that I was ended up doing, like for money that I needed for skills or for any of the achievements I needed, I had to find time to do it or I had to find a way to make it work. Because of my job, I moved around a lot. I would be not in my house. I would be either like I would probably have like no internet most of the time, to be honest. So I wasn't able to all the time play the game. And but when I did, I had a laptop, and I brought the laptop with me everywhere. And I would at any time that I had some downtime or I was back in my room, I was able to do some training. I would go ahead, whip up the laptop, and just for my own sanity, do something for me. And that's what the cape grind became. And it made it really easy to want to go ahead and bang out some of these tasks. There was a lot of times when I wasn't able to get anything done because I just didn't have any time. Like there was one moment when I was working 12-hour shifts for like 3 weeks straight, and I was drained. I was just like, I wouldn't even log in the game. But there were small times I had a break, maybe like an hour or two. I would log in on my phone, catch some whirly gigs, go ahead and do some hunter stuff, and it made it really, really easy and slowly chipped away at those comp requirements. And the only thing I was thinking of was the payoff of getting all of these skills knocked out. The only thing I was thinking about was getting that pretty cape with a fancy looking. I could pick the colors. Like that was the main drive for me. I could pick the colors. And with that, over the course of about 2 years of slowly working towards it, again, taking a little bit of breaks here and there, I was finally able to unlock Completionist Cape. And this moment lives rent free in my mind all the time. I did it on my phone. I was on mobile during Christmas Eve with my wife in bed next to me. And I was like, dude, I got one more task. It's the Rag and Bone quest. And I had to go ahead, kill a bunch of monsters, give it to the old man. And that was the last task I needed for my completion escape. I remember just doing it for me. I remember just thinking like this is not something that I'm doing for my boss. I'm not doing this for my friends, my family. This was a task I did for me. And it felt really reviving to do something that was solely for myself. And I really, really enjoyed it. I needed to prove that I could do something that was selfish and fulfilling for myself, and I'm glad that I did it. The feeling of all those achievements finally paying off with a cape that I really never imagined that I would ever get was worth all the hours put in. And then I did the same exact mentality when I wanted to get 120 all. 120 all is getting all of your skills to 120, which not all skills are pushed up to 120, but a lot of them were virtually pushed. So you can unlock the skill of getting 104 million XP in the skill itself, and it was amazing. I did the same exact thing. I would chip away at fishing, I would chip away at invention, I would slowly chip away at all these skills with some money making in between the fun and the other skill grinds that was going on, and eventually I was able to unlock the Master Completionist Cape, which included 120 all skills. All that consistency paid off, and I really enjoyed it. It's something I'd use for myself all the time now, and it was the same consistency that allowed me to get best in slot gear and work towards some of my favorite goals of like going for really specific things. Like right now, I'm going for the Kethsi outfit from Rune Dragons, and that thing is taking forever as well with Ultimate Slayer. And these are all grinds I like to work on in the background while I'm just working towards my main goal, which is Insane Final Boss. You can catch the series in the link description below. And I really, really enjoyed playing RuneScape this way. It's how I've been playing for years now, slowly chipping away at things. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about RuneScape, where it allows you to play at your own pace, do what you need to. And I really, really appreciate how a lot of other players, myself included, have been able to bang out these pretty crazy feats. And that was how I was able to reach the Completionist Cape and the Master Completionist Cape in RuneScape within a few years of really just kind of figuring out what I needed to do and slowly working towards it and just focus up on it. Let me know what you're working on in the comments down below. I'd love to hear if you have any advice for anybody else who gets a little distracted working towards their grinds. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something new today. Be sure to subscribe if you like commentaries like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. And also, just for context, I'm actually recording this in a hotel room right now because I'm on the road for work. So that's kind of funny in itself. Because like the exact same thing I'm doing for the what I did for RuneScape, I'm doing right now too, dude. Like I'm doing what I can. I got a little bit of time, and I'm gonna try and push out some videos like this. So if it's a little less editing and a little less flashy than usual, that's exactly why. Because I don't have a lot of time in between classes and stuff. So I'm doing what I can with what I got.